And after we go through this, I want you to kind of imagine yourself in their shoes. And then when they're done, I'm going to break down step by step how to create a 90-day run for you. Okay? Exactly how to create a 90-day run for you. Who's excited about that? Show me some hands if you're excited about that. All right, let's bring this group out. First of all, let's bring out Rakan Khalifa, Elizabeth Schlunke, Tony and Sarah Zalecki, Danian Fire, and Angel Fletcher. Come on out, guys. What? Hey, cool. All right, so we've got different kinds of runs have happened with this group, but inside of a peer group, I just want to talk about results first, okay? Results first. How much you make in a month right now?
60K.
60,000 a month. How much you make in a month right now?
130.
130. We need a little bit more volume in these in the mics. How much you guys making right now? 200. You probably can't say. Your company's not comfortable. It's a big number. Angel Fletcher, how much you making right now?
It's a huge number.
Can you say?
I can't say.
You can't say, but it's a massive number. Can you say?
Yeah, like 300,000 to 400,000.
300,000-400,000 a month. A month, not a year. So, Rakan, give me your 90-day run story. What caused you to do it? What happened from the 90-day run? And how much of your success is due to that 90-day run?
First of all, I'm so grateful to be among legends, people that I used to watch on social media and YouTube. 2019, I've had a pretty rough end of the year. Typically, December is my birthday month. Eric, you can put my...
2019.
2019, yeah, end of 2019.
Yeah.
Right? So, Eric, if you want to put my address, they can send me gifts.
2 years ago.
And yeah, so two years ago. So 2 years ago, 2019, I at the end of the year, I've had a big part of my team leave, and I came to GoPro. I didn't even have enough tickets, but I bought these tickets from my teams, and they ended up leaving. And I called Eric's company, and they said, well, there's no refund. I'm like, okay, well, I paid like $7,000 for this. What do I do? They're like, oh, well, you can switch to a super VIP ticket. And this is where, I'm like, I guess I paid for it already, so I might as well show up. And what happened is I showed up, and I kind of told you kind of what was happening. And that's my first time always like really getting close to all these top earners. And Eric, I was called a six-figure earner, but I lost my income already, right? So pretty much, selling the dream, living a nightmare at that point. And I had this one conversation with your chair house, like, Rakan, I think you got to run, right? And you have more potential than what you think you are. You speak another language, and you should really, really start taking on a challenge that you've always wanted to. And one of my challenges that I've always wanted to is to really have a launch in the Middle East. I speak Arabic, and that's kind of what I did. I went back, and I may be a little bit extremist. I had to lock up some of my leaders in one house for a period of time, but not lock up, not literally, guys. Like it's, we rented a house.
Work together as a team.
Yeah, yes, as a team.
Like Middle Eastern style.
Sure, yeah. Well, you would know. You would know, yeah, of course. So, and that's kind of what I did. But then I started taking on a challenge on how can I launch the Middle East knowing nobody, right? So I took the 90-day course multiple times, right? And I really studied that course. And I go on my phone, and I went on my Facebook. That's where all my Arab friends are, right? And I literally, if I see an Arab name, I'll shoot my message, hey, Habibi, I have something we got to launch. And I believe in a span of 2 weeks, I sent a message to like 3,000 people. So this is me going all out. I had 2 to 3 people on my team that spoke the same language. And we put them all together in like one Facebook group, and we said, we're going to launch this, and we're going to do this, and 90 days after doing that, we almost put up, I believe, anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 people, and then 8 months out of that, we put up 15,000 people from that specific run.
Yeah, so from that run, you went from basically starting over.
Yes, zero.
Yeah, your team fell apart, whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
To 90 days later, about how much would you
I would say I went from $0 to $50,000 a month.
$0 to $50,000 a month in 90 days.
In
90
90
days,
days,
hear what he says? In 90 days, by the end of 90 days.
Yeah.
By the end of the next year, it was how much?
But then the next year, it was 20. Yes, I was around 50 to 70, and then I started hitting the 100K mark.
Yeah.
And I've been on that for a year.
So
now.
this is just 2 years ago,
Yeah,
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen. 2 years ago, he made the decision. He went on a run. Disaster had happened inside of his team, and he decided he was going to relaunch it. How hard was it? How many times did you feel like quitting? Be honest.
Like 10 times a day at least.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a challenge. I'd love to tell you it's easy. This is not easy.
Yeah.
This is lonely and hard and challenging. But if you didn't do it, where would you be today?
I think I would have quit the industry.
Yeah, probably been out. So Elizabeth, let's talk about you. When did you do your first big 90-day run?
So it was my biggest turning point in my career, and that led to everything I am today, because today I'm #1 earner in Europe in my company. And
Damn.
Nice.
And at that time, I already made the decision to go pro, to be a professional. And I knew for that, I have to make a lot of sacrifices and I have to take big action. So one of my big action was actually to come to go pro in 2016. And it was a lot for me because I was a 22-year-old student. I didn't have a lot of money. And I spent everything on a flight ticket from Europe. So with like multiple, flights to come here. We booked a room at the Stratosphere for 2 people. We were 4 people. We didn't have enough money to go to the restaurant, so we were just eating peanut butter sandwich. We were walking to the event because $10 for the Uber.
5
was a
years
lot.
ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
At 22 years old.
And then I already had like the 2 main things that you need. You need to take a decision. You need to take a decision to start to recruit people, to start going out, putting yourself out, and to just, go all in and give it everything. And I was willing to take action, which is the second main thing you want to do. But I missed the third thing, which is the most important one. I didn't have any plan.
Yeah.
And so like everyone here, I was watching GoPro in 2016, was not online, but, and people were speaking about this 90-day game plan. And I was like, that's it? That's what I need. That's my plan. And then, since then, I started. And a lot of people here are going to be like, oh, but, I'm part-time. And maybe put it in the chat if you're part-time or if you're full-time. Because you're going to say things like, oh, I cannot do that. Like you said before, I don't have 16 hours. I have children. I have a university. I have a job, right? And I had 6 hours university. I had weeks full of exams. I was a 22-year-old girl. I just wanted to go out and party. So my friends were going out to party, and I was working at home and studying. And in 1 year, when I started the 90-day game plan, I actually did 2.
You did 2 in 1 year?
I did 2 in 1 year.
That's rock star. It's a big commitment.
And I went from one of the smallest positions in my company in 1 year to the highest position in my company, part-time, and I got also my degree at the same time.
Yeah, good for you. Now, if you didn't do the 90-day run, where do you think you'd be?
I would have left, for
Yeah.
sure.
Probably not been in the profession. You would have just run around on the runway thinking you were doing something. Mistaking movement for accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we all do. We mistake movement for accomplishment. And instead, you went all in for a short period of time twice. Have you done one since?
I've done just recruiting 20 people in 30 days.
Yeah, so
no.
but 90 runs hard. Make no
Yeah.
mistake. It's a game-changing thing, but I mean, I did 6 in whatever, 15 years. 6. I didn't do 1 a year. If you do 1 a year, you're a monster of the midway, and you're definitely top earner in your company or in the top 5 or top 10. Tony and Sarah.
Hi.
Hi. So, when did you joined your company 6 years ago? 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. When did you do your first 90-day run inside of these 8 years?
The day we started.
The day you started. So you just went, I'm all in, I'm going hard. This is my chance. This is my opportunity.
We had to.
You had to. Why did you have to?
We knew that, well, we had learned that it's all about stories.
Yeah.
And we knew we needed to create stories to really get traction in our business. And but also too, like our backs were up against the wall. You know what I mean? Like we had to make this work. 'Cause
Financially?
Financially, for sure.
You needed to change something.
Yep.
You needed to figure it
Yeah.
out.
We needed to shock the system. Like we needed to shock our business. And we knew that talking to one person here, one person there, it wasn't going to make it. You
Right.
know, it just wasn't going to be what we wanted it to be. So we knew that we had to talk to a lot of people fast. And here's the thing about a 90-day run. The no's are less painful.
Yeah, because you're doing so many.
You're doing so many. You're talking to so many. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
no problem. I'm going to the next one. No problem. I'm going to the next one. No
Yeah, it's
problem.
not
go to
so
the next one.
personal, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're just going. When you talk to one person a week, everyone is like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
On Thursday, I'm going to talk to that one person. Dun, dun, dun. but when you're talking to 5 people an hour,
Yep.
by hour number 3, you're like, hey, you in or you out? You know, you're going to do this or not? Your posture changes. You know, you don't have any patience for, you know, somebody's got an objection. Okay, I got to go. You know what I mean? You're just not going to waste time with somebody that's going to be a project for you. You're looking for your tribe, and you're sifting through people in order to get there. What else happened during this 90 days? Was it hard or easy?
It was hard because, well, we were starting with a brand new company that
Yeah.
was brand new.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really,
So there's lots of people who started when
It
you
was all
started,
vision
had a lot
for
of
us.
excuses. Oh, the
Tons.
company's not ready for this.
oh, they
and
said,
the
we'll
company
wait,
doesn't
and,
have
we'll wait
that.
and see how you guys do.
We'll see
right?
how you do. There's all those different kinds of things in the world, right?
But we didn't care.
But you didn't? Well, I mean, maybe you did, but you decided to go anyway.
Right.
You had a situation. Sometimes the gift of desperation is a good gift. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some of you need to be inspired, but some of you need to put yourself in a spot, like Grant said, get yourself to 0 so you have no other option.
And I think too, it wasn't just desperation, it was also a little bit of something to prove.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah.
It's my time,
Yeah.
damn
Like
it.
we are like sick and tired of being sick and, you know what I mean? We were
Yeah.
like, enough.
Right.
Right?
Enough. I'm going to
Yeah.
do this. Love that. Danian Fire. Danian, my friend from Dubai. How you doing with the jet lag? Is it okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. Now, Danian, he's got a little gray hair now. But when I first met Danian, it was how long? How many years ago?
Wow. I think second GoPro you ever did.
So probably 2011, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. So 10 years ago, I met Danian, and I was doing this 90-day run training, and we have actually a video of Danian. I don't have it here with me right now, but he came up to me at this training. He came to this little hotel in Minneapolis where we were doing this training, and he said, hey, I just did a 90-day run. I said, well, tell me your story. We turned on the camera, and he told us the story. So tell everybody where you were, why you decided to do it, and what happened as a result of your 90-day run.
Absolutely. And just give you a heads up, I really want to talk about the 90-day run I did last year. But
Yeah,
let me
great.
quickly say that.
Sure.
So that was the first one. So I was at about $5,000-$6,000 a month. I've never heard of the concept of a 90-day run even. First time you started to speak about it was like at the closing of the second GoPro you ever did. And I was like, all right, might as well just try that, you know, like, because why not? And what really triggered me was the question if you've ever given it a real 100%, because I told myself this is the most important thing I do in my life. Like, you ask me how important is my network marketing business, I'd tell you it's everything. But then at the same time, being honest with myself, at that point I had to say I never really truly gave it 100%. I gave it 95, even 99, and then you said, well, 99, the difference between 99% and 100% is not 1%, it's 100% a different story. So might as well just try it once. And I started to get curious about what could happen if I did it. So long story short, that first run lasted 55 days, and I went from $5,000 to $6,000 to my first $100,000 month.
Yeah, he went from, listen, he didn't even complete the 90 days. It took him 55 days. He went from, what was it, 94,000 or 96,000? He was making $5,000 or $6,000 a month. He said, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of being tired. I'm sick of being sick. I'm going to do this. And ran hard. like how many hours a day?
Oh, I started with 16 hours because you said so, 8 a.m. till midnight, 8 a.m. till midnight. But then what happened is like midnight, I was like full of energy, let's just keep going. And it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. At some point I was like, you don't really need sleep, do you, right? So I bought this meditation CD that was supposed to give you deep sleep in 15 minutes. So we did that, like one buddy of mine. We just like napped in, napped out, and went hard, like, you know, like that. It was too much, to be honest.
And here's,
So,
here's what I would tell you. I will teach you how to do it in a way that you will not get sick and you will not check yourself into the hospital. Because he checked himself into the hospital.
yeah, just to be sure. I was
Just
kind of
to,
like,
just to be, because
let me
literally
just see if my
55
body's
days
still
in,
functioning right.
yeah, his body was not functioning, but it changed his life.
Yeah.
It changed his life. 55 days. You could do anything for 55 days. Come on. You could do anything for 90 days if the payoff was big enough. It changed his whole life. If you didn't do that 90-day run, the first one, where do you think you'd be today?
I'd still be in network marketing, that I know for sure, but I would be, let's say on a really positive note, maybe I would be at 30, 40,000 a month, which would be 10% of where I'm now.
Yeah.
But 90% would be missing without that tool. Like,
Yeah.
for sure.
This lever, sometimes you get the right lever and it can move the world, you know, you get the right kind of leverage and all of a sudden, boom, wow, that made a huge difference. So I'll come back to the one you did last year. Angel Fletcher, I was talking with Angel, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And inside of her company, when they achieve a certain rank or a certain level, they allow her to start a new business within her business. You know, like start a new distributorship inside of her distributorship. So she just started that and she just said, hey, I'm doing a 90-day run right now, right this minute. And she told me what her plans were. Before we get to the one you're doing right now, have you done them before?
I did. My first GoPro, you did the 7-figure summit
Yes.
before, and I attended. That was the first time that I had ever heard of a 90-day run, and that was in like 2013, I think. And at the time, I was not happy with the company that I was with, and so it scared me, and I didn't do it. But I made the decision to change companies because I called that my secret weapon. So I left the company. I attended GoPro in December.
Yep.
I left the company in June, and I launched with an actual 90-day run, which I launched with my business partner, and it put him at the top of the company in the 90 days. And listen, it proved the importance and the value that we have in this. You know, I saw you draw that plane. We were standing back here saying, oh, he's going old school.
He's drawing the plane.
He's drawing the plane. So this is the funny thing. You did it on a paper in that meeting that I was with. I took that paper. I still have the paper in my journal. Yes.
Oh, funny.
I took it home, and when I took it out of my book, the plane was this way. So it wasn't a plane, it was a rocket. So I figured out that while everybody else is jumping on the plane and they could be on the plane, I just wanted to be off of it. Right? I wanted to be on the rocket. I had goals. I had dreams. I needed to do everything in my power to accelerate where I needed to be for my family.
Yep. I love that.
So I got off this rocket deciding to be the hero. And that's what I did. And I stepped off the rocket flying on my own.
Right.
Right?
For real.
For real.
Yeah, so this created this growth and success, and now you're doing it again. And a lot of people, you know, once they do something once, they have a hard time going back and doing it again. You're doing it again, and tell people about the 90-day run you're doing right now and your approach to the holidays. Because some of these people are thinking about, well, we got the holidays coming up. Yeah, let's start the next year, whatever. How are you approaching this?
We canceled them.
You
There's
did
no
what?
Christmas tree at my house. We did it. We ordered in for Thanksgiving dinner. I'm busy about changing my life again. I have goals, and I have 2021 goals. I have 2022 goals. I'll address them when day one gets here. But I needed to end this year where I needed to be. And so the only way to do that was to dig in and do a 90-day run. And I was telling these guys in there, on day 3, my mom called. day 3. And listen, my family knows. I'm
Right.
like Beth Dutton on Yellowstone.
Yes.
Right?
it.
Serious about this. And my mom called and my daughter answered the phone. And mom, I heard my daughter say, yeah, Grandma, she probably will want to know about this. And I literally looked over my glasses and I said, is she going to die in the next 90 days? Because if she's not, it can wait until 91.
Yeah, and here's the importance of this. Everybody's got limiting beliefs and excuses, and I can't do this, and because of that, and I can't do that. You might think when Angel says this, well, but she doesn't sound like she loves her family. You'll never know somebody who loves her family more than Angel Fletcher does, and who takes care of her family, supports her family. But there's times when you need to let the world know, this is a moment that I need you to get behind me and not in my face. You need to just support me and let me fly. Don't distract me. I can't open presents while I'm taking off. I can't watch holiday movies while I'm taking off. I'm taking off right now. When I'm done, you're going to have all the movies you want. There's some health issues in her family. She gave all the time, all the energy, all the investment to be able to make sure that those people were taken care of. So if you hadn't ever done a 90-day run, how could you have taken care of your daughter in this last 2 years, or yourself? How could you do what you need to do? Right?
You know, for 7 weeks, she was in ICU on life support. 7 weeks. I had a friend who lost her son a couple of weeks ago, and she couldn't afford to bury him. And I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine being a mother who loses their child, and she borrowed the money to me to bury her son, Eric. And I'm just going to tell you guys, it's things like that that will make you get right about a 90-day run.
Right.
I didn't worry about a job. I didn't worry about, I had to buy a hospital bed. I turned my home into a hospital room, you guys. $70,000 for a hospital bed.
Right.
I said, here's my American Express.
Yes. Done.
Legitimately, I didn't have to worry about anything. And those 90 days, I've done four, I'll be 10 years in June. I've done 4 massive 90-day runs. The current one that I'm on right now, I'm 60 days in. I started with my brand new position. I'm two ranks from being back in the global bonus pool again.
Amazing.
In 60 days.
Unbelievable. Give her a big round of applause, everybody. Here's what I'd like to do. In the time that we have left, which is not a lot, Rakan, give people a piece of advice for the 90-day run. When these guys are done, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do your 90-day run. So don't stress. I'm watching. Is there steps that are going to be taught? Michelle is asking. Yes, I'm going to teach you. Just breathe. We'll get there. But the why is important. If you get the why figured out, then I'll show you the how.
Yeah.
So Rakan, give them a piece of advice on if they should do it and how they should do it.
I love what she said about the communication. I feel like the most important part is communicating with. I had to communicate with my family. Hey guys, I'm out of the game. I don't need nobody to call me. Nobody message me. If it's not death, I think you should, just keep it away from me. So number 1 was communication. Number 2, I love what you said. Reverse engineer it. Right, so a lot of people, they start the 90 days and they don't finish it because they don't see a lot of results in the first 30 days. And the reason why is you're not supposed to see results. So 90 days, breaking down to 60 days, breaking down to 30 days. What are you going to do? And then break it down to 2 weeks, then 7 days. And just in my head, you can have 1 day, 24 hours where you're preparing. So 24 hours where you're preparing, and then you go for 7 days, and then have a check-in. This is one of the things that helped me is I have a check-in buddy. So I'm checking in with them.
Accountability friend, yeah.
So depending on the level of leadership that you have, let's say you're
Community
brand
and
new.
environment is a
Yes.
big deal if you can get it.
Absolutely. So every 4 days I have to let's say, I'm speaking to the Lekis or anybody, every 3 days checking in, right? And that helped me a lot, just keeping on. So the number 1 is communication. Number 2, I had to break it down backwards. And number 3, accountability and communication. It helped me a lot with my 90 days.
Any piece of advice from you?
Just to understand that nobody's gonna save you. You have to save you. You have to go out every day, push yourself. And my biggest piece of advice is you have to trick your mind. yourself. And for example, for a 90-day game run, you know, like a year has 12 months, and a 90-day game run has 12 weeks. So think about it like this. Every week, make it as if it was a month, you know? And so you're going to get so much stuff done that you've never imagined of.
Love
But you
that.
have to do that kind of stuff.
I love that. Tony and Sarah.
I would say that most of us are too casual with our business, right? All our businesses are underexposed. And what this is going to do, it's going to stretch you. It's going to put you in a different place. And you're going to be talking to a lot of people, and you're going to be really forged in this process. But you will grow, and you will figure things out, and you will want to quit, and you'll be frustrated, and you'll just want to throw in the towel. But it will create more activity in your business, more results in your business than probably you've ever had since you started in your business. And listen, you can quit any time, Eric. So everybody needs to do it, in my opinion. And one thing you're going to do, and I know you're going to talk about this, but there's going to be community here. So we got your back. We're going to be rooting each other on. We're going to be, you know, one family doing this. And this 90-day run is what everybody needs to change their 2022.
Yeah, if you've never done it, you owe it to yourself.
So 2 quick things. So I think what's important is that everyone wants to become a great inviter and great at follow-up and great at closing. And you want to know the fastest way to get great at all those things is a 90-day run. You're going to become incredible at that, right? Number 2, so we have 2 little kids. We have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. I know there's a lot of parents that are watching and grandparents. And so I know this whole idea of a 90-day run, you're like, holy cow, like how do I manage it all? Our kids are totally bought into our runs. They know. Like we have poster boards on our wall. They know we have 3 of them. So it's 30, 60, 90. But more importantly, every single month, we let them pick a reward. So our kids pick the reward. So they understand when we have the extra Zoom and the extra calls and the extra time that we're doing, they're bought in because they understand the bigger picture and the vision of what our family is going to do together. So I think that's important, is the rewards. And for those of you that want your spouse on board, it's the same thing. Get them to buy in, right? Honey, what should we do when we hit this reward? Not when you hit it, right, your goal. What should we do? And let them pick it, right? That's how they get bought in.
Love it. Angel, how about you?
Well, my piece of advice is for Angela in this room. She said, what a terrible way to look at your home business and cancel the holidays. So my advice is, I didn't tell you to cancel your holiday. I figured out what I could sacrifice. I sacrificed television. I sacrificed dinner out. I sacrificed a lot of things in my life, but I sat down and took a look at my list of priorities and what I was willing to sacrifice. I don't have little kids at home. I have grown kids and I have dogs. They don't care if it's pizza or a turkey, right? They don't care. The time that it would take to decorate and do all of the things to celebrate Christmas in my home. My daughter, 22 years old, she's like, let's don't even do that. Let's do a dinner and a movie. I make those a priority in my 90-day run. But number 1, what is it you're spending time on that you can sacrifice? Number 1 is figure out what you can sacrifice for your 90-day run. For me, I do this 90-day run. That means for the next 9 months, I can do any damn thing I want to do. It's worth that to me.
3 days of pain, a lifetime of gain. 3 months, excuse me, of pain. 3 months. Can't get it done in 3 days. There's not a 3-day game plan. 90 days of pain for a lifetime. So, Danian, talk about the run that you did last year and then give people a piece of advice.
Awesome. So yeah, I want to speak to those people that already have achieved a level of success in network marketing. Because there's a lot of us out there that we've been great once, or we had good success, or even we have good success, right? And for me, what drives me today, because people keep asking, like, why are you still working so hard? Like, you achieved all of this. For me, it's mastery that really inspires me. I want to be the best at my craft, and my craft is network marketing. So that inspires me. A 90-day game plan is not about waiting for the opportunity to arise, but to be the one creating the window of opportunity that everybody sees. It's like you are creating it literally out of thin air. That's what it's about. I've done 4 90-day runs in my life. every one of them has created tremendous results, not little results. The first one, I jumped 7 paid ranks in those 55 days. The second one, that was when our company got acquired and we went in there, and we went from not knowing the business that we're in into 3 times our check, which was already very good at that point, in just about 2 months. Anyways, then there was another one that was mostly focused on one of my teams in Germany where we helped a guy go diamond. And the last one was last year. And what happened last year was that COVID hit, right, in the beginning. And I saw all the narrative about COVID, and I found myself looking at the numbers every day. Oh my God, more infections, oh my God. And I see all this stuff, and all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm getting sucked into somebody else's narrative. What if that happens to my team? And I started to get afraid of that. So I said, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to tell our own story. We got to create our own narrative. When the media is distracting you, I got to create my own media. I need to have so much action happening on Zoom, online, that people are literally living inside our community. Now, we were an offline-based business, mostly. We were very proud of our meetings and infrastructure and all of that, and we switched it on a decision to add online. And my piece of advice is 2 things, intensity and resourcefulness. The intensity needs to be so strong that you literally forget about the world around you. And I'm going to say one thing, and my wife's going to kill me for this. My wife literally peed on her chair while she was working. Now people will be like, what? Did you just say that? Yes, because she was working so hard, and she's like, oh my God, I got to go to the bathroom. Anyways, I got to do this call. I really got to go to the bathroom. Okay. And at some point she's like, you know what? It doesn't